My name is Emma, and today I need to tell you the real story of my friend Sarah. This isn't just a workplace drama. It's a story about trust shattered, lives upended, and the quiet strength it takes to rebuild. Grab some tea. This will take a while. Sarah and I met fresh out of college, bright-eyed and buzzing with ambition. We both landed jobs at Bright Star Marketing, a sleek glass tower promising innovation. Sarah, she was sunshine personified. Always the first to offer help, the last to leave, believing fiercely in teamwork. Her desk was a cozy corner near the window, filled with photos. Her smiling fiancé, Mark, her beloved greyhound, Duke, and her frail but beaming mother, Eleanor. Eleanor had early-stage dementia, and Sarah's devotion to her was absolute. The mounting medical bills were a constant shadow, but Sarah faced them with determined optimism. Her dream? Creative director. She poured her soul into every project. Then came Lisa Chen. She joined the Visioneers team 6 months after us. Instantly charming, effortlessly stylish. She had this way of making everyone feel like the most important person in the room, especially Sarah. Sarah, that presentation was inspired. Lisa would gush, leaning over her desk. Honestly, you're carrying this team. Pure genius. Sarah, ever trusting, bloomed under the praise. Isn't Lisa amazing? She'd whisper to me during coffee breaks. So supportive. I felt a prickle of unease. Something about Lisa's smile didn't quite reach her eyes. Felt practiced. Just be careful, Sarah, I'd murmur. Keep your cards close. Sarah would laugh, swatting my arm playfully. Emma, you cynic. Not everyone has an agenda. Lisa's tactics were subtle, insidious. She started staying late, always coincidentally when Sarah was burning the midnight oil on a big pitch. Oh, Sarah, let me help you polish that. 2 heads are better than 1. She'd arrive with Sarah's favorite blueberry muffins, remembering tiny details Sarah had mentioned offhand. Slowly, expertly, Lisa began weaving herself into Sarah's confidence. She'd ask about Mark, about their wedding plans. She'd offer sympathy about Eleanor's declining health, her voice thick with manufactured concern. It must be so hard carrying that alone, Lisa would sigh, placing a perfectly manicured hand on Sarah's arm. You can talk to me. I'm here. Vulnerable and overwhelmed, Sarah opened up. She shared her fears about Eleanor's mounting care costs. She confessed her secret anxieties, feeling like an imposter sometimes, worrying she wasn't truly cut out for the creative director role she craved. She even shared a minor disagreement she'd had with Mark about wedding expenses. Lisa absorbed it all, nodding sympathetically, murmuring reassurances. You're like the sister I never had, Sarah, she whispered one late evening. It felt genuine, felt safe. Sarah had no idea Lisa was meticulously documenting every word, every doubt, every vulnerability. Not in a notebook, but in cryptic digital notes synced to a private cloud. Building an arsenal. The hammer blow fell over the next-gen campaign. This was Sarah's baby. Months of research, sleepless nights, brilliant concepts. The pitch could make her career. Lisa, of course, was helping. Let me just streamline the visuals, Sarah. That tagline is good, but what if we tweak it this way? Sarah, trusting her friend, incorporated many of Lisa's suggestions, believing it was collaboration. The Friday before the big presentation to Mr. Henderson, our notoriously demanding boss, Sarah sent the final deck to Lisa for a last look. Lisa replied instantly, Perfection. You've got this, superstar. Go nail it Monday. Monday morning. Sarah walked into Mr. Henderson's office, radiating nervous confidence. I was outside grabbing files. I saw Lisa slip in just before Sarah, clutching her own tablet, her expression unreadable. Minutes later, Sarah stumbled out, white as a sheet, trembling. Before I could reach her, Mr. Henderson's sharp voice cut through the bullpen. Emma, my office. Now. Inside, the air crackled with tension. Mr. Henderson's face was thunderous. Lisa stood beside his desk, radiating wounded professionalism. Emma, Mr. Henderson snapped, gesturing to Lisa's tablet screen. Sarah just presented the next-gen pitch. Lisa informs me this is her work. Stolen. My blood ran cold. Lisa's screen displayed an earlier, rougher version of the concept deck, dated weeks before Sarah's final version. I've been developing this quietly, Lisa said, her voice trembling with faux hurt. I shared early drafts with Sarah for feedback, trusting her. She must have run with it. But that's not true. I blurted. Sarah created that. Lisa was helping. Helping. Lisa's laugh was brittle. Look at the timestamps, Emma. Look at the emails. She scrolled, showing emails where Sarah had indeed sent Lisa iterations. But Lisa's original drafts predated them. Forgery, obviously, but convincing. And consider Sarah's state of mind, Lisa added softly, laying the final trap. She confided in me recently. She's been feeling incredibly overwhelmed, burnt out, doubting her abilities. She even mentioned feeling completely uninspired and desperate for a big win. She projected a private message Sarah had sent her weeks ago, venting about a different project's challenges, completely out of context. Twisted. Weaponized. Mr. Henderson's jaw tightened. Sarah's suspension starts immediately. Pending investigation. I was ordered not to discuss it. The walk back to our desks felt like a nightmare. Sarah was packing her things under the watchful eyes of security, tears streaming silently down her face. Lisa avoided everyone's gaze, radiating a sickening aura of victimhood. The whispers started instantly. The suspension crushed Sarah. Humiliation was a physical weight. She called Lisa, her voice raw. Lisa, why? We were friends. The pause on the other end was icy. Then Lisa's voice, stripped of all pretense, cold and sharp. Friendship is a luxury, Sarah. Only one of us gets that promotion. You were collateral damage. Nothing personal. The click echoed in Sarah's soul. Mark came home that night to find Sarah shattered. He held her, promised to fight for her, believed her innocence. But Lisa wasn't finished. The next day, Mark received an anonymous email. Attached were convincingly doctored screenshots, text messages between a number vaguely similar to Sarah's and a coworker's name. Flirtatious. Suggestive. Thought you should know. Your girl isn't who you think, the email taunted. Doubt, poisonous and insidious, seeped into Mark. He confronted Sarah. She denied it, frantic, but the seed was planted. Trust once cracked is hard to mend. The investigation at Brightstar was a sham. Lisa's fabricated evidence held sway. HR, pressured by Mr. Henderson, who valued Lisa's apparent productivity, rubber-stamped the decision. Sarah was terminated. Gross misconduct, plagiarism and insubordination, the cold letter stated. The professional disgrace was paralyzing. Worse, Mark moved out a week later. I need space, Sarah. I don't know what to believe anymore. Her world imploded. The job gone. The man she loved gone. And Eleanor's care costs? A terrifying tsunami threatening to drown her. I found her one evening, curled on her sofa in the dark, Duke whining softly beside her. She hadn't eaten in days. The vibrant, hopeful woman was a ghost. She took everything, Emma, she whispered, her voice hollow. My future. My reputation. My love. My security for Mom gone. All because I trusted the wrong smile. I held her as silent sobs racked her thin frame. Meanwhile, Lisa got the promotion. Sarah's promotion. We watched from our desks as Lisa moved into the corner office, a framed creative director, plaque gleaming on her door. Her smile, as she surveyed her domain, was triumphant. Sarah hit rock bottom. Weeks bled into months. Job applications vanished into black holes. Terminated for misconduct was a career death sentence. Mark filed for separation. Eleanor's condition worsened, requiring more expensive care Sarah couldn't afford. The fear, the anger, the crushing despair were constant companions. I brought groceries, walked Duke, tried to hold her together. The light in her eyes had almost gone out. Then one rain-lashed Tuesday she called me. Her voice was different. Not broken but quiet. Hard. Like flint striking steel. Emma, I'm done crying. I'm done drowning. Lisa doesn't get to destroy me and walk away clean. It's time. Revenge wasn't a fiery outburst for Sarah. It was a glacier, slow, deliberate, and unstoppable. She studied Lisa like a scientist studies a virus. Lisa's weakness? Not greed, not power, but vanity. An insatiable, pathological need for admiration and validation. Sarah exploited it. She created Elena Rivera, a stunningly curated LinkedIn and Instagram profile. Elena was a jet-setting freelance art director, based vaguely in Europe, with an impressive and entirely fictional portfolio. Elena began following Lisa, liking her posts, commenting with effusive praise. Lisa, that Verano Cosmetics rebrand is iconic. Pure visionary genius. Hashtag inspiration. Lisa, starved for external validation beyond Brightstar, bit hard. She accepted Elena's connection request, flattered. Their online friendship blossomed. Elena was the perfect confidant, admiring, slightly elusive, always stroking Lisa's ego. Sarah, channeling everything she'd learned from Lisa's own manipulative playbook, drew her in. Elena expressed interest in collaborating on a passion project. Lisa, eager to impress this glamorous peer, started sharing more. Much more. Meanwhile, Sarah executed phase 2. She knew Lisa's habits intimately. Lisa always left her unlocked laptop on her desk when she went for her long, gossipy lunches. Sarah's cousin, Ben, worked in Brightstar's IT department temporarily. With meticulous planning and Ben's nervous but loyal assistance fueled by outrage on Sarah's behalf, Sarah gained brief access to the office during lunch hour, disguised as a new temp. While Lisa laughed over salad in the cafeteria, Sarah was at Lisa's desk. Not stealing anything obvious. Copying files. Specific files. She found gold. Drafts Lisa had subtly lifted from junior designers over the years, repackaged as her own. Expense reports with blatantly falsified receipts, claiming lavish $200 client lunches that never happened. Even petty cash discrepancies. But the jackpot was buried deep. Folders labeled side projects. Contracts. Emails. Lisa had been secretly freelancing for Apex Innovations, Brightstar's fiercest competitor, for months. And she wasn't just freelancing. She was feeding Apex confidential Brightstar strategies, client lists, pricing models. The contracts were there. Signed. Dated. Lisa's flamboyant signature unmistakable. Sarah copied everything onto multiple encrypted drives. Patience, she told me during our covert coffee meetings. She's building her own gallows. I just need to hand her the rope. Back online, Elena gently nudged Lisa towards indiscretion. It's amazing how you juggle everything, Lisa. Brightstar is lucky to have you. Though sometimes I bet you have to make tough calls to shine, right? Like dealing with less talented colleagues who try to hold you back. The bait was perfect. Lisa, basking in Elena's perceived understanding, took it. Oh, Elena, you have no idea. Lisa typed back, her arrogance blooming on the screen Sarah monitored. There was this one girl, Sarah, total hack. Tried to steal all my work. Can you believe it? I had to crush her. No choice, really. Had to expose her as the talentless fraud she was. Got her fired. Honestly, best thing for everyone. Cleared the path. Zero regrets. Some people are just doormats, you know? Meant to be stepped on. Sarah saved every damning word. The stage was set. Brightstar's annual Visionary Gala arrived, a black tie event celebrating the company's innovators. Lisa was receiving the coveted Visionary Leader Award, the pinnacle of her stolen success. Sarah bought a simple black dress and a dark wig. She slipped into the back of the glittering ballroom, a ghost haunting the feast. Lisa took the stage, radiant in emerald green, accepting the Crystal Award to thunderous applause. Her acceptance speech dripped with false humility and self-congratulation. And it just goes to show, she purred into the microphone, that true vision requires not just talent, but the courage to make difficult decisions. Sarah took a deep breath. From her phone she sent 2 emails. The first, to Mr. Henderson and the head of HR. Subject, urgent, Lisa Chun fraud, theft, sabotage. Attached. Every damning file, the stolen drafts, falsified expenses, the Apex contracts, the recordings of Lisa admitting her sabotage of Sarah. The second, to the entire Brightstar global distribution list. Subject, the truth about your visionary leader. Attached, screenshots of Lisa's vile doormat, messages to Elena. Then she pressed send. It started with a low murmur. Phones buzzed. 1, 2, a dozen, 100. Heads swiveled. Eyes widened. Gasps rippled through the crowd like a wave. On stage, Lisa faltered mid-sentence, sensing the shift. Her phone, silenced but face up on the podium, lit up like a strobe light, notifications flooding in. Then Mr. Henderson's phone rang shrilly. He answered, his face draining of all color as he listened. His eyes locked on Lisa with dawning horror and fury. He didn't wait. He stormed the stage, snatching the microphone from Lisa's frozen hand. His voice, amplified and shaking with rage, boomed through the suddenly silent ballroom. "Lisa Chun, you are a fraud, a thief, a saboteur." He pointed a trembling finger. "Security, get this woman out of my building now." The scene was chaos. Cameras flashed. Guests recoiled. Lisa's perfect composure shattered into pure panicked horror. "No, it's lies. A setup," she shrieked, but her protests were drowned out. Security guards materialized, gripping her arms. The emerald dress twisted as she struggled, her award clattering to the stage floor. As they hauled her away, past tables of stunned colleagues, her eyes met Sarah's in the back. Sarah simply removed her wig. The recognition in Lisa's eyes, the sheer primal terror, was Sarah's first true moment of vindication. It was broadcast live on the company's internal stream. Lisa's career imploded in real time, witnessed by hundreds. The fallout was swift and brutal. Lisa was fired immediately, blacklisted industry-wide. Brightstar sued her for corporate espionage and breach of contract. Apex Innovations, furious at being dragged into the scandal, sued her too. Her meticulously constructed life crumbled to dust and lawyers' bills. Sarah wasn't done. She sent Lisa's confession texts, the doormat messages, to Mark. His response was immediate. A flood of apologies, pleas for forgiveness, admissions of his own weakness and stupidity. He begged for another chance. Sarah read his messages quietly. Then she replied, her voice steady when she told me later. "Mark, I believe you're sorry. But you believed the lie too easily. When everything was ripped away, you didn't choose me. You chose doubt. That's not the foundation I want to rebuild on. Goodbye." Closure, harsh but clean. Armed with the evidence of Lisa's fraud and the falsified case against her, Sarah negotiated fiercely with Brightstar. She didn't just want her job back. She wanted vindication, public apology, back pay, compensation for damages, and the creative director position she'd earned. Facing potential lawsuits themselves for their botched investigation, Brightstar caved. Mr. Henderson himself, looking 10 years older, offered a humiliating public apology to the entire company. "We failed you, Sarah. We were blinded. Justice was not served." Sarah walked back into Brightstar, head held high, not as a victim but as the creative director. She cleared her mother's medical debts. Duke got extra treats. She even adopted a scrappy rescue mutt she named Phoenix. The last I heard, Lisa works the graveyard shift at a 24-hour copy shop on the wrong side of town. The sparkle is long gone. Sarah, she thrives. The sunshine is back in her smile, but it's different now. Wiser, stronger, tempered in fire. She doesn't trust blindly anymore. But she hasn't let bitterness win. One evening, watching the sunset paint her new office windows gold, she said to me, "Never let a hypocrite steal your light, Emma. But don't let their darkness extinguish it either. Sometimes you survive. Sometimes you just have to fight smarter. And sometimes," she added, a fierce glint in her eye, "you get to watch karma deliver the bill."